Hari Om Namaskar to all of you. There is an interesting question from Raghav Krishna. He states, many a time the raw emotion scenario happens, Gurudeva. When we show raw emotions, if it's kids, they may forgive. But in other relationship from office or personal, it's too fragile. Some break at first instance, some break in a few without feedback. How do we still hold on, sustain relationship, as some have lower threshold, some high, some would like to first and then form a sense of aloofness, resentment. We tend to think, should we relate? Why is it that intelligence not dawning? Or what makes people repel? If they live, should we live? Should we mend it? Raghav Krishna. Here the very interesting part in this question is, he is only looking, you are only looking at the other person. You are not looking at yourself. Okay. You see the question part, whatever you have said. You say many times raw emotions happens, yes, because of you only. And when we show raw emotion, if it is kid, they will forgive. But in other relation from office, personal, it becomes too fragile. Some break at first instance, some give with feedback. How do we still hold on to sustained relationship, as some have lower threshold, some high, some would like first and then form a sense of aloofness, resentment later. Why intelligence is not dawning, or what makes people repel? Intelligence should draw on others. That's what you mean. First look at yourself, introspect yourself. Where you are going wrong. Because there is a barometer inside. You don't need Sridhar or anybody for that matter. There is already a barometer available inside you, and if you keep looking at it, you know where you are right, where you are wrong. Okay. You know where you exceed. As I told, sometimes emotions are from the heart. Many times, emotions are aided by the mind. Something is not happening the way it should happen. You wanted it to happen in a particular way. It did not happen. It results in anger. And it comes out as raw emotion. The way you express. Of course, kids do not take it into consideration at all. They don't have something to record. Okay, they may fear at that point of time. Later they will just be normal. Unless you have hurt them to that extent that they fear you totally. In office, in personal relationship, naturally nobody will be prepared to accept if you are going to simply exhibit your emotion. Even when you want to convey something which may be a little bit difficult to convey, you should develop the art of conveying it. The art of communication is very important. Unless you convey in a proper way, people will not receive it. Why should they receive it? If you are going to throw tantrums, why should they receive? Why should they reform? You have to reform. You should have better communication. You must know how to communicate. Probably you lack that. So how to develop that? That is what you must work on. I cannot teach you how to communicate. Okay, that is something which you have to develop on. How to communicate with elders, how to communicate with youngsters, how to communicate with colleagues, how to communicate with friends. There are different ways of communication. Even if your viewpoint is right, the way you communicate is very important. And if you exhibit raw emotions at that point of time, definitely nobody will accept. Everybody will try to keep away. Some may probably fight with you. Some may have some resentment they will carry in the mind. Some may actually stop talking to you. Okay. It will be, they won't have any connections with you. Why should they have connection with a person who throws tantrums? Have you understood? Your viewpoint may be right. I am not denying. But how are you going to market it? Ultimately, everybody, this is a business world. Even in personal relationship nowadays, it is business. Everybody tries to market themselves. Okay. Hardly we have one or two people here and there who will really have some genuine feelings. Feelings of interest, feelings of love. Okay. Most of the people are only trying to market themselves. Whatever they know they want to market, they want to say, we have done this, we have done that. Naturally, Facebook has come for that. Twitter is there, Facebook is there. So many social medias are there. Nowadays, you have something called Instagram. I don't know much about it. I have heard the name, that's all. So all these things are there. Okay. To only market oneself. Okay. So, people look at you. When they look at you with an expectation. Nobody is going to look at you without expectation. There may be a very few people who may look at you without expectation. Maybe your father, maybe your mother, maybe your closest people. Okay. They may be, yes, maybe here and there, a few people may be there. But otherwise, everybody looks at you with expectation. This is life. Okay. Today, people are not going to have gratitude because you have done something. Okay. Even among closest relatives, when one relative has really helped the other relative, or one friend has really helped another friend, though they call themselves relative and they are in some relationship, though you call friendship, all this, it is always with expectation. Person who has done expects, and the person who has received it has no gratitude. Naturally, it results in resentment. When you do service, it is from the heart. It is not from the mind. You don't plan to do service with an expectation. If you are going to do service with an expectation in the mind, as on the date of doing the service, better not to do the service. Service means it is selfless. You have to serve. The way you serve may differ. One may serve in a particular way, one may serve in another way. That is not the point. Many times resentment comes because of the expectation. Okay. And raw emotions come out along with the expectation. There is a sort of superiority complex in the person who exhibits it. He exhibits and he thinks he is right. Just because you have done something doesn't mean that you are right. Even if you are right, there is no license given to you that you can react in any way you want. Okay. See, most of the time, it is not the point what has happened. It is more how you have reacted to it. How you have ventilated your feelings towards it. Even very gross things that happens is not that much important. But how you have reacted to it adds value to it. Okay. So, you have to check on yourself, you have to introspect yourself, because most of the time I find emotions are more aided by the mind than by the heart. When it is from the heart, it is non-expectational. There will be no resentment also, even if the other person does something. Okay. Even if they are having no gratitude. There are enough number of people in this world who have really enjoyed service from others and they have no gratitude in life towards the people who have really served them. Normally we have gratitude towards anybody who has done something to us, even with a stranger. Suppose he is going to do something small, we say thanks to him. Is it not? Why do we say thanks to him? It's a gratitude. He has helped us. Okay. Many times that gratitude doesn't come between friends or with relatives, because there is always an expectational mode. The service is not done free of expectation. Okay. So, first you have to introspect yourself to find out where you are wrong. Okay. And instead of blaming others, you have to correct yourself. This is what I feel basically. From what you have written, you are more throwing the blame on others than looking at yourself. So you have to look at yourself. See, introspection is more important in life than inspection. We should not inspect others. We should introspect ourselves. Inspecting others is of no use. Okay. Some people are there, they inspect others and say he is right, he is wrong. See, life is total. Whether you like it, you don't like it. Some people will pose as though they are very perfect and they will say, I am very perfect. Once you claim that you are perfect, you are already imperfect. Okay, this is a total world where all the conscious people are trying to become more perfect as they live life. They are trying. It's just a process. It's a process. It's more an inner process to elevate the soul. It goes on, it goes on. You keep on introspecting, you keep on correcting yourself. There is nothing like you have achieved perfection. Okay. Okay. Whether birth was perfect or not, death will be perfect. So, perfection? No, don't go into that. Don't keep blaming others. Try to introspect yourself, find out where you are wrong. Your communication, mode of skill, mode of communication, try to improve it, improvise it. When you present a subject, present it sweetly. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat, they say. Even Satyam should be sweetly told. Satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Even the truth should not be harshly expressed. Satyam apriyam na bruyat. Satyam is harsh, don't speak, they say. So, some people speak truth. Yes, they will speak very harsh. In such a case, others will only misunderstand. Others will not accept whatever may be the truth. The way it is delivered is very important. Deliverance of truth is very important. The way you deliver it. If your deliverance is going to be hurting others, they are not going to accept you. Naturally, there will be resentment. Okay. Why intelligence? Do you mean to say we all have intelligence? We are all intellectual. We have not, still we are in the process of upgrading ourselves to intelligence. Okay. You are all intellectual. We are all intellectual. It's a process where you become more wise. You may have a lot of intellect, but you are not wise. People say artificial intelligence. Intelligence is natural. Artificial is intellect. Okay. Intelligence is more natural. When you have intelligence, please remember, you will appreciate the inventions of the scientists also. At the same time, you will wonder at the nature. That aspect of wonder is there in intelligence, but in intellect, that aspect of wonder is not there. We want to know what it is, what it is, what it is. When there may be so many things which you may not be knowing in life. Okay. You don't try to unravel it. You try to wonder it. If unravel has to happen, It will automatically happen. So, people have very limited intellect. Intellect is also not complete. Limited intellect. And they keep on inventing many things. In science, you invent so many things which are very useful for day-to-day life. Science is very useful for day-to-day life. Okay. For upgrading your consciousness, you need intelligence. You need wisdom. Okay. So, don't expect people to understand you and accordingly the way you throw things, then sympathize with you and say, yeah, you are right. Nobody is going to say that. Nobody. I don't think anybody will say that. They will try to trim you. Or if they cannot do it, they will leave you. Okay. Sometimes parents may be there. They may like to say something. This is not right because they are very close to you. People who are very close to you will always like to correct you. People who are not close to you, if resentment exists, they will leave you. Okay. People close to you, yes, they will say, this is not the way to behave. This is not, you cannot exhibit raw emotions to me. They will definitely say, make that statement. You cannot feel offended. That is where I say you should look within yourself to find out where you are wrong. That is possible only for a person who accepts that they may also be wrong. For a person who doesn't, he says that I know everything, I know better things. Such a person, there is no possibility of any correction. If you feel that you already know everything, you cannot be corrected. It's not possible. Only a person who feels that there is a possibility for a correction, then he will stand corrected through introspection. Otherwise, even introspection will not happen. Introspection happens only to people who acknowledge their mistakes, who say that yes, there is some problem with me. I must work on this. So people should wholeheartedly acknowledge their mistakes. That is why I say, to err is human, to own it is divine. Will you own your error? Will you own your mistake? There are people who will commit mistake, and please remember, they will try to justify it. See, in the world, there are only two classes of people. One is who have committed mistakes, and mistakes are known. And there is another group called who have committed mistakes, and mistakes are not known. That's all. There is nobody who has never committed any mistake. If somebody says, I have never committed any mistake, then he is a blatant liar. We cannot believe in such a person. Everybody will have something or other here and there in their life. They have to acknowledge that. They have to not live in a denial mode. They have to accept it, they have to own it, and they have to work on it. Not merely owning it is not enough. You have to work on it and you have to reform it. Okay. If it cannot be reformed, reform it. That is life. Okay, thank you very much. Had a nice time with you all. See you some other time. Bye.